I got a My Hero battle for you. I got Kirishima versus Tokoyami. Kirishima versus Tokoyami. Just end the series. Before they became heroes and shit. Like while they were still in school, whatever. Just these two are fighting one another. Full power, all their abilities and shit. I'll let you know who wins this. So they're fighting just at UA. They're just fighting outside. They're just like, I want to see if I like. They're like, I want to see if I can beat you. That kind of shit. They're just interested about seeing each other's abilities. Full. Fight. So breakdown strength goes to Kirishima. You know how you know Tokoyami, he has that big ass bird, the shadow, right? Dark shadow. And it envelops his body and it can become bigger. He can cast a big shadow. He can grab that and he can pick that shit up, man. This boy is not weak. He can pick his ass up. Grab him, pick him up, and throw him. Don't get that shit. Don't get shit twisted, boy. He can grab that shit and eat his ass. You know, and his striking power, the boy got mitts too. I give it to him. Speed though goes to Tokoyami definitely. He can take flight too. And then when he takes flight, he's also quick when he's in flight. Not as quick as Hawks, obviously, but compared to Kirishima, yeah, Tokoyami got the speed on him. Durability wise, obviously, Kirishima has that. He has the hardening quirk. He just gets harder and harder and harder. And then he's just unbreakable, right? Not really. He can still be like damaged. Um, but pretty damn durable. More durable than Tokoyami is. And I'll give the endurance to Kirishima too. Because like I do see Tokoyami doing damage to this guy. But it's gonna take like not just your conventional like hits from Dark Shadow. Those hits are gonna do a little bit, but not much. What I'm thinking is he's gonna have to take him up into the sky. And even when he does that and he comes back down, boom, Kirishima's, feeling that he might be a little bit concussed after that. But he gets back up and he's still fighting this guy. Intelligence wise, Tokoyami, like I said, he could get creative. He can grab this man, take him way up into the sky, and then, like, shoot him down, dive bomb. Boom. Slam his head into the ground, right? Experience, I'll give it to Tokoyami. Two, slight edge, Tokoyami. I'll give close skills to Kirishima for sure. He has the fucking hands. Range skills go to Tokoyami. Tokoyami can stand at a distance and then, Dark Shadow can, hit him. Um, Recovery, I give it to Tokoyami. Both characters aren't known for like healing abilities and shit, but I'll give it to him. Hacks, I'll give it to Tokoyami as well. Um, but in complete darkness, let's say this fight like ends up getting out of hand because I do see this fight like not being like a short fight. I don't see it being a short fight. He can get this man to an environment where there's no way he can cast a shadow. He's fucked then. Tokoyami's like definitely screwed then because then he can just dwell on his like body and Tokoyami's not a tough guy in that regard. Is not. Um, But if you can maintain and keep the fight inside of, there's like light, so he can then cast the shadow, so Dark Shadow can, do his thing. That's how his quirk works. Environment, I give it to Kirishima. He could probably work him into some shadows, or, you know, he could grab him and, run him to the shadows and shit. Now, it won't be easy to, do that. It ain't gonna be easy to do that. But overall, man, I got Kirishima winning this fight. High to extreme difficulty. Let me know who you got winning My Hero fans. You might know some things that I don't might not know, but I have seen My Hero a couple times, man. I've seen it like 5 or 6 times through already. So it ain't my favorite anime, but I still know about it. I think I'm pretty spot on with what I got. But let me know what you think in the comments and be cool on the corner.